Hi everyone, I am back with a long overdue real talk. Today is going to be a little bit more of a juicy topic. I'm going to dive into why we are so bad at hiring and how it's very similar to the way that we date. So, if you're going on a date, you typically have 2 or 3 dates with someone, and if you don't immediately have that spark or that chemistry or that fire, you're probably going to scrap the date. You're going to be like, well, they're not for me, moving on. Right? Same way, if you have that spark and chemistry, you're over the moon excited and you're like, oh, this is the person for me. I really feel like this is the one. Well, the reality is the reason why our divorce rate is so high and we're so terrible picking partners is because that none of those things are predictors of success in a relationship. In fact, humans are really predictable. We tend to follow the same patterns of behavior based on a multitude of things. So if we are similarly attracted to a type of person that's bad for us, we're going to continue being attracted to those types of people, and a lot of times we'll end up missing the ones that are good for us because we're not used to exploring those different avenues. Okay, the same thing for hiring. What if I were to say that after 2 or 3 dates with someone, you would have to choose whether to marry them or not? That would be really intimidating because in the reality is you don't have enough information yet to make that type of choice. Yet when it comes to hiring, that's what it feels like sometimes. It's such a big step. It's a huge risk when it comes to your culture, your team, the amount of money that you're investing, the time you're investing, right? We want to get it right, but we so often get it wrong. And it's because we base the decisions on the same indicators as we often do with dating. We base it on our gut and our intuition because we're such great judges of character. Except we're not. We're not good judges of character. The same way that we're predictable, we have built-in biases and things that trigger us or lead us astray and bad behaviors. You know, it happens all the time. We love to think that we're good at these things, but we're not. It's proven and proven and proven over and over again. So some of the biases that often come into play in the hiring process. The first is the first impression effect. Right? Our brains are wired to make snap judgments and decisions. This is what keeps us safe. But at the same time, we do that with people. We see them and they look a different way or a certain way. Maybe we're judging the way that they're dressing or the tone of their voice is annoying to us. You know, different things that have nothing to do with whether they're going to be good in the role. And we've snapped judgment. It's been made. Our brain has done it automatically. You don't even realize you're doing it. Okay. The second is the similarity attraction effect. And that is that we tend to gravitate towards people who are similar to us. Similar in looks, similar in culture, similar in the way that we talk, the things that we like. That's very natural. That's just a social construct of human behavior. But it happens in hiring too. So if someone is similar to us and we can relate to them, we tend to like them more. We feel more comfortable with them. As you can see, that would definitely affect our ability to make an objective decision on whether they're a good fit for our team. The halo horn effect. This is applying something that's unrelated and letting it taint the entire process. So if somebody says something that's a little jarring or awkward, or maybe rubs us the wrong way, like, hey, you know, I'm so sorry, the traffic was crazy today. Those dang Bengals, like, I really hate, you know, all of the commotion they cause in the city. I hate game day, whatever. And you're a huge Bengals fan. You might be a little offended or bothered by that comment or, you know, scoff. And so even though it's totally unrelated to their ability on being able to do the job well, you're probably going to have a negative perception of everything they say moving forward. Whether you realize it or not, it subconsciously happens. Then we have the confirmation bias, which typically goes hand in hand with the halo or horn effect, where when we make a judgment about something or decide something, we tend to find ways to confirm whether we're right or we're wrong. So really mostly confirm whether we're right. It could be whether it's a positive association or a negative one. We could assume that this person's really charming and charismatic and we relate a lot to them. We're like, oh, they're so awesome. Everything we ask moving forward and the way that we ask it is going to be to confirm to ourselves that we're right in believing that they're awesome. The same thing if we have some stereotypes in place that someone with tattoos or a disability is going to be, you know, not the greatest fit for the role. Everything we ask moving forward and the way that we ask it is going to be trying to shape our preconceived idea or notions, trying to confirm that bias that we've created. The last is the fundamental attribution error, where we assign things that aren't related. So let's say you're driving on the highway and a car speeds by you, almost hits you, and goes on the shoulder of the road. Your immediate and normal reaction, I know mine would be the same, has been, is, God, that guy's such a jerk. He's in such a hurry. He could have hit me. You know, so we assume that it's some sort of built-in character flaw, whereas maybe he had an emergency or was having a bad day, you know, and if he didn't get to work on time, he was going to be fired, so he's desperate. We don't know everything that goes into that situation, but we assume it's a character flaw. The same way we assume that success or failure is part of someone's character. And in reality, it's not necessarily. It's related to a multitude of factors. It could be their teammates, their manager, the culture, the type of role and responsibilities that they have could indicate and play heavily into whether they're successful in that position or not. So just because someone's successful in a previous role does not mean they're going to be successful in yours, and vice versa. So it's really important to be aware of all the ways that we riddle the hiring process with our biases, because that's where we get it wrong time and time again. That's where we end up investing a ton of time and money and relying on things that are unreliable, like our gut or our judges of character, to decide whether this person's going to be the right fit for the job. So if you're someone that might fall prey to that, or your team, please take a harder look at your process. Let me know if you need any help with reviewing areas that this could be coming into play, because it's going to cost you a lot of money and a lot of time. Okay, I'm going to be speaking more about this Friday. I'm really excited. The Greater Cincinnati Association for Talent Development Conference. I am one of the speakers, and so I'll be diving into all of these things more in depth, how to alleviate some of these pitfalls. And then I'm also really excited to talk about your value proposition, whether you're someone that's going through the interview process and trying to land a job, or if you are trying to bolster your career at your existing job, land that promotion. We'll be talking about your personal value proposition and how to sell yourself. So that'll be through Remote Work Pros in partnership with them. It'll be a really brief little live webinar on Facebook on Monday, October 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So looking forward to seeing you guys then. Shout out if you have any questions or concerns or thoughts on the matter. I'd love to hear them. Talk to you soon. Bye.